So we're going to talk about the launch of our upcoming exhibition, which is called Essential Works. And this launch will be conducted twofold. It's going to happen on Instagram, and it's also going to happen online on the Artsy page. So by Friday, the day of the launch, I will have a link for everyone to use to put into their bio of their Instagram page, and it will be a link to the exhibition. And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. And so that we all are in the same exhibition this coming weekend, and it's going to open this weekend. It will open softly on Friday, the 11th, and then on Saturday and Sunday, we are going to do 4 orchestrated Instagram posts at the same time across ODETTA Digital, which is about, in this current exhibition, 55 artists. My goal in this is to become not unlike Horton Hears a Who, where he could hear something, he just couldn't see it. And when he finally got in close enough, he found a whole village saying, "We are here, we are here, we are here." And he put a loudspeaker on and amplified it, and out it went, and he helped them save their town. So that's what we're doing. Imagine Artsy. If you haven't looked at ODETTA Digital, the current show, I'm going to do a screen share now and show you. So bear with me. Just give me 1 second. Can you all see this? Just give me a thumbs up if you can see this. Okay, thanks. So this is the current, I'm going to try and move my stuff over here. This is the current exhibition, Pandemic Proof. I'm not that original. I keep wanting to refer to this time that we're in. It's so unique and it's historical. So you'll see me creating titles around that just to mark the time, basically. But this is the current show. Pandemic Proof opened in September, and it's coming to a close this Thursday. And each artist uploaded onto the template that you guys used. Most artists uploaded all 4 images. Some didn't do quite 4. And what I'm working on now is orchestrating the artwork that you guys have all sent in to create a coherent progression on the page of color and form and image content. So each artist ends up with their images not only as a searchable link, which they can put onto their Instagram and their own website, but it's also access for someone that we may never know, but they're on Artsy. So back to Horton Hears a Who for a second. This is a metaphor that I've just found helps me visualize it. Artsy is like the Pacific Ocean, and it is filled with identical hot yellow tennis balls. And how are we going to let our work be discovered on this site? It's going to be hard. We actually have to work at it. So just by putting it up there, it really isn't enough. And I, for one, want to know how it works. I like to get into the mechanics. So if anyone comes up with a better mousetrap or wants to do it in tandem with my idea, I want to hear from you. And there is no idea that is not great. All of them are great. I simply can't figure it all out by myself. But what we're doing is we're using Instagram, our individual pages, to point to the exhibition. And by doing these 4 simultaneous posts, it is my hope that, kind of like when Damien Hirst totally bought out the diamond market when he was doing his Memento Mori skull. I think he ended up purchasing something like $80 million in diamonds to create that platinum diamond encrusted skull. And the diamond market that day, with he and his investors, surged up and then went back down. So it was a noticeable, measurable event in that market. So that's why I'm doing these synchronized launches. I would like it to be a measurable event. We've found on the ShimArt network with their analytics that the average daily visitors to the ShimArt network as a whole, somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 to 1,000. When we launch our shows, they spiked up another 2/3. So anytime I try to get an orchestrated launch going, you can end up seeing on the analytics, which I'll share with you another time after our launch, but you can see that there's an increase. So that tells us that with enough practice, we're going to nail it. And it does, in fact, lead people to the exhibition page. So I just don't want to leave it all up to chance. So now a little bit more on the exhibition. When a person is interested in the artwork, when they contact the gallery, that message will come into me. I go back to the buyer, and also I go to the artist and I ask the artist, do you still have this work? If you do, is it still available for sale? And if it is, please go get a quote on packing and shipping the work so that I can quote the buyer what the shipping costs will be. So in the case of Charles, I know yours is serious packing and shipping with porcelain. So that's something that in your best interest, maybe you might want to, if you haven't already got it, get a sense of a few different quotes on the scale of the work, like what you're showing, just so you have a ballpark just to throw out there. So the buyer ends up being charged for the shipping. And when I collect their payment, you, the artist, will have paid for that shipping, and I will reimburse you in total for your packaging and shipping. And I'll need receipts for that. Then when I'm paying you, you also get 70% commission on the sale. I take 30 for handling that sale. And our reasons for this with Shim is that we really feel that we want the artists to be as engaged as they can be in the total business in their work. So we're not going to have an overhead of rent, and we're also going to hand some of those tasks on to you. So therein lies the silver lining, is you're making a better commission on your sales. And as a result, you can probably play around with prices as well, just to see what where your market falls on this site. So back to the artist here, Camille. When you click on the artist's name, it then moves you into all of their works available on Artsy, not on other sites. And I'm not sure why these duplicates are here, but I'll ask Wilson about that, our gallery manager. So each artist's 4 works will end up being in a scroll. And if you've been with ODETTA since March, you may have up to 12 works now that are on the site, plus any other business that you're doing with other galleries. Then as you continue to scroll down the page, you'll see the entire exhibition. So there's ways of finding your own work as well as your peers on this site. So then to go into the process of posting on Instagram. Can you all see this page? Do I need to magnify it, or can you see it fairly well?
I can see it.
Okay, all right. So this is ODETTA Gallery. I also have an Instagram page for E.H. Fagan Studio. So with the Instagram page, if you have not ever really done your own Instagram post, I definitely want to see you leave me a message in the chat or get back to me later so that we feel like we're all dealing with this, you know, at the same basic level of competency. So with the gallery, Suzanne, if you came on, please mute yourself. Okay. So with this, you have a bio. You only get 150 characters on your bio. So we encourage you, right now I just opened Deborah Perlman, so I am talking about her exhibition and a little bit to entice you to go check it out. So Deborah, I hope you don't mind. At once funny and a bit gothic, unchecked laughter happens often. Then I have this. I can only put one web address on here. So instead of leaving it down to just ODETTA Gallery, I'm sorry, but I'm a polymath. And so I'm doing a lot. And I use a tool called Linktree. Linktree, you can find it on Google, and I'll follow up with some instructions for you guys on these sites. But Linktree gives you then an opportunity to use more than one URL in your bio, where you only get one shot at it. So Linktree is a great tool on Instagram to maximize, again, your searchability. But back to our exhibition, we're going to be launching, this is the current show, Pandemic Proof, and we're going to change this when we get to opening Essential Works. But that link, ODETTA Digital, this link right up here will be the only web address you're going to use on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so that everybody knows where your work is on Artsy. Then if you want to go back, use Linktree, use your own website. But for that launch, I'm asking everyone to participate in that manner. When I did the launch on Pandemic Proof, I also encouraged artists, and you've seen me already doing this, so you guys have been doing a phenomenal job. I've been encouraging artists to put a range of price points in their work. Just again, to where is my market? Who's buying on this site? Am I finding collectors here? These are the questions we always ask when we're exhibiting, but now you're on a universal global platform. Play with it a little bit, experiment with it. You get your 70% commission, so it's a good place for you to try new stuff out. But you would end up with a price of, in the case of our current show and the next show, I asked artists to try and find price points ranging at the $500 level roughly, then up to the $1,200, then on up to the $2,000, and then higher, so that each price point was reflected. And the day that we launched Pandemic Proof, because everybody was getting used to this format, We ended up selling 7 works in that first week. And a lot of them were super affordable, but there were also some nice sales going on there. And it was my first time to really handle a lot of sales on the Artsy platform with Shim. And, you know, there was a certain learning curve in that, but it came together well. And I think the artists walked away happy. I was happy. I think the collectors were happy. There's been no returns. On the subject of returns, I do allow a 7-day return policy. I think it's only fair. So if you have a serious objection to that, you need to let me know that. But I personally feel that it's going to only help build trust in online buying of artwork. So I am interested in that. So back to Instagram. So you've got 150 characters to get your bio written. You've got an interactive URL that leads to multiple different exhibitions. Here's the one on the ODETTA page for Deborah's show. And when we get into launching for Artsy, you're going to see that in my link tree. Pretty much it'll be in the top 2 because both are running simultaneously. I'll be toggling around with that. Then you get into images. And images, when you post, starting out with, I want to get past the art auction, get down to pandemic proof. Can you guys see this, or is it too small, the font? I can, you're sure? Okay, so what we have when we do an image launch is a system for launching that where I ask everyone to use the same hashtags. And in the case of pandemic proof, and you'll see an email from me about this, I ask everyone to use the same hashtags just to get through the launch as well. Art keeps going, that's a hashtag. Believe it or not, that is Artsy's hashtag. Hashtag Artsy got away from them and it leads to someone else's pages. So art keeps going is the Artsy page. Hashtags are a good way to get people to want to engage with your page without leaving it and heading to another site. ODETTA Digital, number 2. Pandemic proof. We found that there were unpopulated hashtags for pandemic proof, provided we used things like characters like an underscore. The ShimArt network, and then I move into the artists using their name. So hashtag, yes, these artists, Lady McCready, Susan Schutan, Armin Velker, those artists were all hashtagged, but then we get into also tagging, and I have them put their @ symbol, their handle, into the body of the photo so that they have just a few hashtags going here. They always recommend don't use more than 10 because people just sort of, they fuzz out. So try to use your hashtags wisely. And then these are your websites, your tagging, your Artsy page. So Susan Schutan is one. Lady McCready is another. So as you go through ODETTA Gallery, you might want to look at on Instagram some of these hashtags that we've been posting and look at the other artists' works that have populated it. Pandemic proof. This is all ODETTA Digital from the current show. So back to descriptions again. This is Armin Velker again. So Armin has a comment in the caption to talk about pandemic proof, ODETTA Digital, and his place in it, and the dates. I give people, you'll have for the launch sort of a recommended dialogue for your captions. Take your captions, the repeated stuff, and save it to your notebook on your phone so that you can just cut and paste and edit as you're posting your images. Another thing about images and where to put them, I've had a devil of a time with this. I'm toggling back and forth between iPhone, photos, WhatsApp, photos, download, photos, Dropbox, photos. And it's hard for me to access to post you guys' work, which is something I try to do throughout our run together. So I've been taking my cache of photos, and a lot of artists that want to show and share images with other artists in the group, they too will take those screenshots of those photos, and then I save them all to a Google Drive, which goes to my Pixel phone more easily. So, you know, again, I'm trying to learn, how can I compartmentalize this exhibition so I can post it without hunting for these images time and again. So you might want to think about either keep them in a specific place in photos or create a folder on Google Drive and then download it to your phone so that you can access it for your Instagram posts. The whole thing about Instagram is I want you to point to the exhibition, and I want you to also support one another through hashtags and building this community. I think as we move along this year, what you'll find is increased followers on your Instagram pages, increased engagement with your community, and you're going to find some really interesting connections with artists that you maybe hadn't met before. This is Lauren Eiferman. So again, you can take this kind of dialogue here, copy and paste it so that you're not repeating again and again, and save it to your phone's notebook. So the last thing, there's a few other actually things I want to mention. This one right here. Trying to get to my total page. Okay. The other thing is that in addition to Linktree, there's two other apps that you might want to use that you'll download and use for Instagram. One is called Photo Booth, and it enables you to put more than one image in a composite together. And Charles, I'll send notes so you don't even have to worry about it. Plus, I'm recording this. But the Instagram photo booth enables you to pair your work, not only in the case of Tayo Heiser here, using it to show a detail in addition to the full image, which is smart because that's a long vertical image, and then she pulled in a detail. But you might also use it to collaborate with your peers. For example, when I was running the Fair Share art auction, I was doing a lot of composite images so that I could talk about the likenesses within this community conceptually with these artists, and also hopefully promoting so that the auction was a success. So Photo Booth is a tool that I'd like you to look into on Artsy. And then the last one of multiple images, let's see if I can find it. Is the carousel. Let me just see if I can. Oh, I bet you it's on ODETTA more than this. Let's see that. Yeah, let me go to ODETTA. Hard for me to X out of these. I don't know why. Give me a second. The carousel enables you to curate up to 10 images in a suite. And that is right on your Instagram tools, right as you're uploading. Here is a carousel. So this was about Sea Change, our first exhibition, showing through color the likenesses in that exhibition. Just a suite of 10. Since there's 55 artists posting this time around with essential works, I'll be doing carousels, I'll be doing photo booth combined, and I'll be doing individual images. And again, here we go, ODETTA Gallery. These are the tags now. The artist, so you would want to tag yourself in your photo posts. You would want to tag ODETTA Gallery. You would want to tag ShimArt Network. You would also want to tag Artsy. So I'm going to now get rid of the, actually I can keep the screen share, but you guys can unmute and we can have some questions. I think I want to try and see you guys though all. So you can unmute, and if you've got a phone ringing or something, don't unmute, but feel free to ask questions.
Ellen, you said that photo booth is found on Artsy.
No, it's an app.
It's an app. Okay, thank you.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
Or I
Okay.
mean on your phone.
On the phone.
Apple
Yeah.
or Google. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Download it and it goes into Instagram.
Okay, super. Thanks.
The other one is Square Ready. I haven't used it yet because my Instagram, I don't know if it's because it's a Google Pixel phone, but my Instagram says crop your photo now when I'm posting. So I can sort of bring in the bulk of that image now. Plus, I like showing details. So for me, it's not as critical that I have the exact dimensions each time when I'm posting on Instagram. But if that is critical to your work, certainly you'll want to look into tools that enable you to get in there and post accordingly. So Square Ready is another, and I'll again share these notes with you guys as well as the recording.
Hi, Ellen. I'm definitely in need of all your notes.
Okay.
I do have an Instagram account, and at the moment, I have my former high school assistant, now college student, is home.
Nice.
She's coming one more day before I go to Florida Friday, and I mean, she has a big project to do, but I think I'm gonna ask her to give me a tutorial on Instagram. I mean, I haven't, a couple of years ago, I put on images as I was printmaking, but I haven't done anything since. So I'm a complete neophyte. I will need you, but I'm gonna.
Any consolation, Suzanne, I just started trying to upload on Instagram last week and I had been away from it for maybe 2 weeks. The thing had totally changed. I don't know if I have to reboot my phone, but it's driving me crazy right now. So we're all constantly being pulled in to learn it anew. And that's kind of nice with these launches because it really forces you to get into Instagram and get to know it a little bit better. It is a free advertising tool, so you should use that tool to the best of your ability, and you'll build on your learning. You will. Suzanne, you may ask your assistant to help you. Apparently, and speak up if any of you know this, or I'll find it in my notes. Apparently, you can schedule your posts in advance so that it goes off on time. And since you'll be traveling, that might be good for you. Our times for posting are going to be synchronized Saturday. I have artists both in Berlin and San Francisco and everywhere in between right now. So to keep the timing good, and you'll see this in my notes to you, we're going to launch on Saturday at 12 noon. You're going to take one of your 4 images, and at 4 p.m., and I'll be sending this reminder, and then on Sunday at 2 p.m. and at 7 p.m. And hopefully that'll encompass our audience, and we'll know once I get the analytics, which takes a few weeks sometimes to get the analytics back from Wilson, but it's always interesting to see those spikes and how they occurred. So are there any other questions right now?
I have, when you said scheduling, Instagram allows you to schedule?
Yeah, I don't have that in my current notes here, Charles, but I'll dig it out and I'll add.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other question I have is video.
Yes.
Is it possible or somehow to integrate, say, one of my sculptures, if I did a short scan around it or move in close to it, would that,
Yeah,
can I integrate that in some way?
not in the launch, not in the 4 launched images,
Okay.
but throughout the rest of the time, absolutely. There's highlights, there's stories. Videos are very important for artists now, and you're welcome to use them.
Okay.
So, the launch,
So when we have these launch, these scheduled launch, after that, what are we supposed to be doing? Are we supposed to be like posting every day at a certain time, posting the same work over and over again? I mean, what are we, I mean, this show goes on for a month.
No, the show is on for 3 months. It's on for a quarter.
3 months. Okay.
So what you have to envision is that this is your store that you're opening for Charles Birnbaum.
Okay.
And it just so happens that people can come to your store whenever you elicit their response. So the artsy site is great for that because the photos are well done, the page is well conceived, and it reads easily. However, you, the artist, if you want to post on Instagram daily, I think that that's a great idea. I personally get swamped with other jobs and I don't post enough. But those people that are really digging in deep and they're looking for followers and they want their 10,000 followers, which I haven't been able to crack 5. I've been trying for years, but I don't post every day. But, you know, it is what you're going to make of it. It's not what ODETTA is going to make of it for you. It is what you're going to make of it. What I'm giving you is the platform where the work can be found. What you make of it is directly related to your own motivation and drive.
Yeah.
However, I do like to set up assignments. Linda knows this well. Charles knows this well. Joan, you guys all know. I do ask that you look at your neighbor's work and that you think about the curatorial part in this that might be something that you can cultivate within this community and the connector groups within SHIM, as well as your artist peers outside of this network. But it would be in your best interest, and it's something that I assign. Usually I don't know, you guys have seen me running through these busy quarters. Usually about 3 or 4 times during the 3-month period, I'll ask artists to get their curatorial hat on and do a combined image with a neighbor's work or a carousel and get to know how your work is relating to your peers or in contrast with them, whatever really motivates you. And what's come of that has been some really nice beginnings of collaborations. I know, Linda, you're sort of working on something right now, right?
You're on mute.
Yeah, yeah, yes. Yeah, I'm working with 2 other artists I met in my group, and yeah, we're working on some things, collaborations. So
And so what's going on with being in lockdown is it's not easy to envision beyond the digital platform. And in a way, that's a blessing because there's a lot of content there worth building skills within. So I think that this is a period where we can get to know our digital tools better. And so yes, Charles, we will do some descriptions on a little bit of tutorial. I haven't really used them much, but the videos. So if any artist member is getting well versed in video, I would love your help in coming up with just another session where we do those kinds of animations and videos. But you'll see, I'll be throwing out some other assignments to keep you engaged with your work while it's on exhibit. And the other part to all of that is that I'm going to be asking you guys to do the same thing in unison as a group to launch. So it's like an ad campaign. So it'll be short-lived, but it has its effective results. And so the hashtags I'll be sending out, I have Allison here, and she always throws out hashtags. She does the exploration on Instagram to see what's overly populated and what isn't. So we have a lot of variations on work essential, what is essential, art is essential work, essential work. So we'll be tying in the title for the exhibition with your name and the other hashtags and tags that I've mentioned. I've got time for maybe 1, 2 more questions.
Yeah, sorry, Ellen, I got here very late and I'm sorry to have missed most of your tutorial, but I was wondering if you will have it up again very soon?
Yeah,
it's recording.
It's recording and I'm gonna share that with you as a follow-up.
Great. Will that be available tomorrow?
Yep.
Fantastic.
It'll be available tonight. And also I'll be sending on notes. I know, Sue, you keep raising your hand. What's your question?
Okay, can I just have
one second, Peggy? Yep,
okay.
Sue?
We sent in 4 images. So as we launch, we're launching one of the 4, like one, the second, the third, the fourth.
Yes.
And you are going to put all 4 of these into the exhibition, the essential exhibition?
Yes, but there's only one on the home page, and that's what I'm composing right now.
Okay.
And I'll also be posting in your caption, just like how I had you label your images, you'll be labeling the image first with your name, the title, the date, the medium, the dimensions, the price, so that that first round of info, and then you'll get into your hashtags and something creative that you might want to be saying about your work. Some artists are really wonderful in their descriptions. Tayo Heiser is one that comes to mind. Also, you'll see my notes, but I'll be asking you to do things all ready for Friday so that when we launch Saturday, you're good to go.
Ellen,
Yeah.
I use a program called Aperture.
Uh-huh.
And as far as I understand, I can't do Instagram from the computer. I have to do it from the iPhone. Am I right?
I have the same problem. I can show you my Instagram on the computer, but I can't do actual posts.
Okay,
Post
so I
Instagram.
don't know how to get my pictures into iPhoto, into the phone. So did you suggest that we
Just write,
actually take, that we
just
actually,
send yourself an email with the attachments, and then save your attachments to your photo thing, and then you can upload from your phone.
what
That's what I
photo
do.
thing?
In other words, if you have your photos on your computer, send yourself an email with those photo attachments of your work, and then when they get to your iPhone, you can download them to your album or
Oh,
however you
okay.
set it up, and then from there, then you can pick them and upload them into Instagram from your phone.
Okay, well,
That's what I do.
okay, well, that's a help.
The other way I do it, Suzanne, is I save my photos and all of your folders to Google Drive, and I call it Essential Works, ODETTA Digital Essential Works. Then I download the drive to my photos in my phone, and there they are. So that's another way. There's probably a half a dozen different ways that you can have photos made accessible to your phone for you to then use and translate over to Instagram. But it will take you making those happen, you know?
Right, okay, well, I'm not 100% sure. I know you're really good with Google Drive, and if you remember, I tried to get that file with all the images of the secret works, and I had to do a completely new file because I didn't know how to download. So I don't know, maybe we could have a conversation about
Possible, or
how
get your assistant tomorrow to get your images onto your phone. I would suggest that.
she's coming on Friday, and I'm not
Oh,
sure how
okay.
how great she is on that, but I will ask her.
Okay. Yeah.
Ellen, did you cover how to save or cut and paste hashtags so you don't have to type them every time?
Yes. And so I'm going to send you notes also of my outline, but with those hashtags, I'll be sending a specific email about the launch and the hashtags, and I'll ask that you save them to your notes, whatever your note-keeping notepad app is on your phone, that's
Okay.
where you want to save that. And
Okay.
also, Peggy, I asked everyone that on the days of the launch that they change their URL to point to the exhibition. So I'll show you how to do that as well.
Okay. When you change your URL, you're talking about your own website, or?
Yes, in Instagram. You know, on your Instagram bio, there's a link that we're going to all use the same link during the launch.
And is that establishing a new Instagram account?
No, it's on your Instagram page. You'll change your link in your bio to fit the exhibition. So
Okay.
you'll see that in the notes, and you can
Okay.
follow it on this recording too.
Mhm.
Let me repeat that, and then I'm going to wrap it up because of just constant zooming. I don't want to overdo it with everyone, but hang on one second. I hate it when this toolbar gets in the way of what I want to do. Here it is. So Peggy, what happens is on the exhibition site, we'll be launching a new exhibition. This is pandemic proof here, but this is the URL. Let me just reduce ourselves for a minute. So when you're in the exhibition that will launch on Friday, and I may have the URL on Thursday, I hope, you'll highlight that URL. That's for this current show that's up right now. We'll be doing a new show, and it'll be a lot like this, Winter 2020 exhibition. It'll be Essential Works, but you're gonna highlight that URL, and then you're gonna take it into your Instagram page. Right there. Mine says Linktree. It won't on Friday. It'll be just the exhibition page, that one. And that will be my only URL.
And you're doing this all on your computer, not on your phone.
I do it on my phone. And I do the link in bio and the bio updates with Linktree. I do on my computer, but everything else I have to do on my phone. Some people can do it on their computers, but I'm not set up for that. So I could take one last question and then bid you all good night, and we'll follow up again.
I did write you a question. You were saying that we put our name, hashtag our name. Is it hashtag our name and also our hashtag Instagram account, or are you talking about our Instagram account as the hashtag?
Your
In
Instagram.
other words, you had hashtag Charles Birnbaum, or is it hashtag Charles_Birnbaum_art, which is my Instagram account? I'm not quite sure I understand which.
So I have a few hashtags for my work, and I bet you do too. So maybe part of your work is, to do with the cup, and how much care you put into your cups, or
Okay.
do with porcelain, or to do with slab construction or innovations in porcelain design. Those hashtags are descriptives, but then you may have a hashtag that completely copies your Instagram handle, the Charles_Birnbaum_.
Okay.
That's the hashtag you want to focus on, but also you want that handle tagged in the photos. So that's
in the
your
photos.
at.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
So it also goes back to that page.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Will you be sending the URL for this recording?
Yes.
On my, okay, so I can see that on my computer.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good.
Everybody,
I'm sure we'll have questions.
Thank you.
I'm sure you will. Ask me any question. I'm great with that. And
Very dense, very dense. I mean, I hope I'm gonna, I hope I'm gonna rise to this occasion.
I bet you will, knowing you.
Ellen seems very thorough. I'm sure she can help you.
Yeah, but Suzanne is even more thorough. So I have no doubt you will excel at this. But I can't find my chat. I guess I gotta stop sharing the screen.
Yeah, stop sharing the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see what's going on. Where did I put it? Sorry. Anyway, I was gonna look for another question if there was one. Oh, here it is. There's the chat. It's hiding behind everything. The quality of returned work. I think that that's a really tough question. And I think that what you would require is that the collector insure it for its return. If you are insuring it and they're paying for that on the way out, you would ask that it be insured by them on the way back. When you ask us to get a quote to ship, how long do we have? I work a lot with First Dibs, and we tend to offer 5 business days. So set yourself a goal of that you would have that quote back to me and be ready for the shipment within 5 business days. And so if we get the purchase, then you can set about executing the packing and shipping. Okay, bye, Michelle. You stayed long. Oh, no, we're signing off, Michelle, not to worry. Is
Okay.
Photo Booth on Artsy? No. It is an app that you would download from either Google Play or your Apple App Store. And then it goes to Instagram and will show up on your Instagram tools. Okay, Charles, I think I got your question.
Yeah,
All right. So, guys, thank you so much for your
thank you.
attention.
You.
Thank
See
you.
Thank
Okay.
you,
you.
thank you, thank
I'll
you.
follow up, not to worry.
Okay,
Okay.
let us know.
Thank you, Ellen.
We can
Bye,
see
guys.
all of this.
Everybody.
Let us know when we can see this entire talk again. We can,
I will let you know.
thank you, Ellen.
Bye, guys. I have to
Bye.
figure out how to stop the screen share. Oh, there it is. Okay, there. Phew. All right. Thanks, guys.